We're about to go live on Wall Street Sizing Up. Let me get the cue in. We are live. I don't know who's joining us today. If you are, I want to thank you for joining us. This is Wall Street Sizing Up. We do a lot of stocks to watch, but we've now started doing stock market news today, daily. It is something I do for myself, and if you happen to get some enjoyment out of it, great. That is that's kind of my goal too. I do want to say one thing. Hey, we're sponsored by StockTrade.tips. It's not an advertisement. They have one goal though, and that is to help you profit off the insider knowledge of the hedge funds. Let me just tell you why really quick, right? CATB, Perceptive Advisors bought them. They filed it. And they bought on January 28th. On the same day, it goes up 158%. ITRM, RA Capital, bought them on February 4th. 4 days later, it's up 89%. AXAS, Angelo Gordon and Company, on January 25th, took a sizable position. All these are sizable positions. We actually called that stock and a stock to watch. 9 days later, it's up 60%. And that's just the ones that I found literally just browsing around what we had seen literally in the past 2 weeks, right? So that's why you follow StockTrade.tips. Because look, these hedge funds, they're one job, to network. So all right, this is the news. Let's get to the stock market news today. We're glad you're here. I'm going to we're going to go to the markets. That is our Twitter page there. But the markets are. Dow is down right about 10 points. NASDAQ was up 20, and the S&P was down 4. We had some pretty big movers. We'll get to that in just a second. The biggest mover today that we want to talk about is, and if I can pull it up, Bitcoin. Bitcoin did cross over 48 plus. It now sits about 47.3, if you see it there. And then what's trending? A couple of these we actually called the stocks. It's funny, Twitter's up 6.76% because they've got after the bell. I know their earnings came out. We don't have that, but I know that Kathy Wood sized up yesterday with like 500,000 shares yesterday. You think she knew something? I do. Let me see what the most active was today. We called. We called GameStop back in December, and then I don't see any others that we've called there. Let's see the watchers. We did call ITRM about, I think it was in January, and then Zome we called. It's down 13, but we did call that back about a month ago as well. But anyway, that's what's going on. So let's get to the real news. Why you're here. Not just to have fun with me. The non-partisan Congressional Budget Office announced that President Biden's proposed minimum wage hike would cost 1.4 million jobs for the next 4 years. The report also says that the action would add a significant burden to the existing federal deficit, but would lift 900 million people out of poverty. Let me just say this. They're talking about $64 billion as the federal deficit, right? Adding to it. That's a drop in the bucket. Hey, if we can lift 900,000 people out of poverty, I'm all for it. But the problem is you're going to lose 1.4 million jobs. Those are probably part-time jobs. I don't understand why they can't do this by age, right? I know the high school kid, right? If you're under 18, you can make below $15 an hour. That's what I would propose. If it's a full-time job and you're plus 18 years old, you need to get paid $15 an hour. I think that's fair. It did go on to say that 27 million people would get a raise. So again, 1.4 million jobs lost. It does say over the next 4 years. I would say that's in the first year. I'm just off of experience in the restaurant industry, having owned 2 different chains. That's what's going to happen. Breaking news here. Seriously, the WHO. That's the World Health Organization, believes COVID-19 most likely originated in animals. No kidding. They're putting this S out. It's crazy. All right. Top 5 analyst upgrades. We got TWLO, Twilio, upgraded to overweight from neutral at JP Morgan. A lot of reasons why. Ford was upgraded to a buy from a hold at Argus. They cited their expectations for a stronger consumer spending, helped by a new round of stimulus payments. I think they're all going to go because of that. Upgraded today was BADU, BIDU, BIDU, Beacon Roofing, BECN, and Chipotle was upgraded to a buy from neutral at North Coast. That's CMG. Top 5 downgrades. You need to hear this one because what I believe was really bad today. Esperion was the one, and I don't see it on there, but it was trending on FinViz. Esperion ESPR was downgraded to a sell at Goldman Sachs. Energizer downgraded to a neutral. Looks like they're going to have people are marginally concerned about the mounting cost pressures facing Energizer. Cubic, CUB, was downgraded to a hold at Needham. OCGN, is OCGN? Yeah, OCGN was down 20 today, was downgraded to a neutral from buy at Chardon. The reason being, while OCGN will have U.S. rights to the vaccine candidate, what will be required to obtain FDA emergency use authorization for Covaxin is uncertain at this point. So uncertainty, and it's down 20%. And finally, KB Home, that is KBH, is also downgraded today. As we reported yesterday on the news, Reddit had, by that time it was just breaking, had raised $250 million in a Series E funding round at a valuation of $6 billion. Here's a little bit more Wall Street Bets. The subreddit had 1.7 million users at the end of last year. Now it has 8.8. It added 3 million users in just 2021. It's a big herd over there, and if somebody gets a big voice, look out. The company noted that it has more than 50 million daily users, up 44% compared to a year ago. Further, its advertising revenue in Q4 2020 increased by almost 100%. Going to get to Apple news here in just a second, but first, the gaming company EA Electronic Arts is acquiring mobile gaming developer Glue Mobile in a $2.4 billion deal. Glue share rose 36%, and this is sick right here, guys. According to the market research firm IDC, global video game revenue reached $179 billion in 2020 overall, more than the worldwide movie revenue and North America sports revenue combined. So, bye-bye. They are passing everyone. Is that mobile? Or that's the global video game revenue. Mobile's huge there too. All right, let's talk about Apple. Apple and Bitcoin. So, according to RBC Capital Markets, that's the Royal Bank of Canada, Apple could launch a system using Bitcoin wallet and support cryptocurrencies. RBC cited the tech giant's access to top-notch software and secure ecosystems as a solution to crypto's problems like KYC and AML laws, especially its wallet app. Could provide a closed yet secure system with instant access to buyers and sellers of crypto, all while preventing illicit activities. Completely agree. Here's the thing. Jack Dorsey's payment company Square, we all know, makes approximately $1.6 billion each quarter in Bitcoin-related revenue from an active install base of just 30 million users. Apple's install base is 1.5 billion. So they're saying that it's going to be 6 to 7x larger than Square. That is dominant. So this would also, what I see here is it would discourage the U.S. government from banning any kind of Bitcoin, right? They're going to regulate it. It needs to be regulated, but it would basically ensure future adoption if you had 1.5 billion users having access to that when you compare that to Square. Lo and behold, Clubhouse has now been blocked in China. Who knew? Probably saw that last night. Also, China. Can't trust them. Luckin Coffee files U.S. bankruptcy less than a year after faking more than half its sales, showing the dangers of investing in foreign companies or foreign companies that don't follow GAAP. accounting procedures. We get the 10 most heavily shorted stocks as of January. If you wanted to know, you probably know. Here's the thing. I'm going to name them all, but here's the thing. The average, so of the 10 here, the average return year to date, even though they were shorted, is 60%. Some far more than others, right? GameStop, we knew. Dillard's, DDS, AMC, Space, Virgin Galactic, SPCE, Fubo TV, FUBO, Bed Bath & Beyond, BBY, Ligon Pharmaceuticals, did not know that one, Fizz, FIZZ, that's National Beverage Company. They are the company behind LaCroix, and SunPower, and then Tanger Outlets. I've got a note here. It says, by the way, their returns are all above 32% year to date. So all of those have done at least 30% year to date, and they average about 60% year to date returns. So clearly the reasons why, short squeeze, and I think that it wasn't just the retail investors. I guarantee you the institutional funds were right behind them. So in one note here, free Britney. Mark Cuban is co-founding an audio and podcasting app, Fireside, that would let users host podcasts, speak with their audience, and monetize conversations. And I've heard you can also tip. The app is similar to Clubhouse, except that it includes recording ability, reported The Verge. Looks like Sam Zell, the godfather of them all, got in a little trouble today. You want to know why? He's on CNBC. This is what he said. I'm hopeful that the next stimulus package is really directed to the people who need help. I'm not sure that a $2,000 check to a college student is necessarily productive, whereas there are people who are not getting enough to eat, said Sam Zell, the next round of stimulus. All right, so my thoughts on this are, yes, Sam Zell, I don't know how old he is. He's probably well into his 70s. Very smart man, always the smartest guy in the room. You can ask Mark Cuban that. He said that multiple times. I'm sure what he meant was when he went to college, it was typically, well-off students, right? I don't think that the man meant any harm. I know that he's taken a beating on Twitter. Clearly, college students these days a lot of them are broke, and 2,000 would definitely help. He's saying that a lot of them take that money and gamble with instead of, feed themselves. Times have changed. Maybe I don't think he's realized that. I think now with the backlash, he probably has. But yes, college students do need it's not 2,000, it's 1,400, by the way. You can talk to Biden about that. DoorDash bought the startup Chowbotics. They own the salad-making robot, Sally. DoorDash says that Chowbotics tech will improve its logistical platform, merchant offerings, and customer access to meals. It didn't disclose the exact price. At least I didn't see one. The parents of the 20-year-old Robinhood trader who committed suicide last year are suing Robinhood for misleading communications. That's going to be interesting. It'll probably get settled for one. Oh, so we had a tweet on Twitter. We had a user on Twitter come out that said that the Cracker Barrel logo is racist. Let me just set this straight. First of all, Cracker Barrel's in a lot of small towns. They got like 650, almost 700 locations now. He said, he was talking about around the logos, the whip, and he gave this backstory of what cracker means and Cracker Barrel means. Look, I can't tell if it's a whip going around the outside of the logo. What it looks like to me is the metal wrap that is on a barrel. That's what it looks like to me. But here's what actual Cracker Barrel actually means, the definition of. It is said to be a plain, simple, and unsophisticated. That's what it means. For example, a Cracker Barrel of his wisdom. So, clearly somebody I think was misguided and it took off, and I saw that he had like over 10,000 retweets. Understand, not thinking that Cracker Barrel or any of those people that work there are racist. All right. Easiest place to become wealthy. You're going to love this one. So this is the transcript from Harold E's talk at TEDx Oslo now. The Wealth Report in 2014 sets the richness line at individuals with a net worth more than 30 million. Clearly, they're called ultra high net worth individuals, right? So at 30 million or above, there are 170,000 ultra high net worth individuals in the world, right? Most of those, so with respect to, number 5, so most of those reside in China. You get the UK, Germany, and Japan, and the United States, right? That's where the top 5 ultra high net worth people live, right? So we're interested in the rich people per capita, right? So per million inhabitants. So if we leave out the pure tax havens alone, they say their citizenship's there, but it's actually not. So we're going to leave out Cyprus and Switzerland and Hong Kong, Singapore, and Monaco. If you push them aside, right, because they're a tax haven, it turns out the number 5 is Denmark with 179 rich individuals per 1 million. Canada with 181. New Zealand with 234. Sweden with 329 per million. And Norway is number 1. And Norway's got, I want to say, like 5 million. Is it Denmark? Sweden's got 10 million total population. I believe Norway's got 5, right? They've got 484 per million ultra high net worths. That's crazy. The U.S. came in 13th on that list, right? If we go to the billionaires per million, check this out. Number 1 is Iceland, 3 per million. Sweden, 2.4. Norway, 2. U.S., 1.7. That's your top 4. Thought that was a very interesting. So if you want to get rich, it looks like, the Nordic countries, not a bad place to be. Not a bad place to build your wealth. Women. Let's talk about them in the labor force. This will be our last story today, guys, and I really appreciate you guys being here. Women's labor force participation rate in the U.S. has hit a 33-year low in January. Women accounted for almost 80% of workers aged 20 and over who left the workforce last month, and that is sad because they had to go take care of their kids. We all understand. We all know what caused it, this pandemic, and it's not right. And I hope that when they decide to come back, that the employers out there completely understand because, like my wife, they work extremely, extremely hard, and they are extremely, extremely successful. They just have a completely different mindset than a man, and that's a good thing. With that said, guys, as we say all the time, watch your 6, go hard in the paint. Thanks for joining. We appreciate you guys. Cheers. Have a great night. We'll see you.